What's going on? Is your man Jose, aka the Dominican Dream, alongside
It's your boy, the Maniac.
for the boxing roundtable, and we are ready to talk boxing. We had to do it, of course. Better late than never. Big fight weekend coming up. Highly anticipated fight. Two undefeated young fighters. One in his prime, basically, Jerron Boots Ennis, and the other one yet to be in his prime, honestly speaking, in Zandon Zayas of Puerto Rico or fighting for Puerto Rico. I think he was born on the island, but anyway, big fight, Sean. Um, let's break it down. Let's break it down. We get right into it here. We don't play games. You know, I'm gonna go ahead and so people watch this. People watching this don't think, ah, you know, you go you go to Latin cats, to Hispanic dudes. Of course, I already know what they gonna say. Nah, it don't work that way. Look, in my opinion, we went over this off air, right? I've addressed how I feel about the fight. Uh, honestly, in my opinion, um, I'm glad it's happening. We've been looking forward to it because hasn't much happened this year in boxing, right? Compared to the last 2 3 years, this is a relatively slow year, and this is one of the biggest fights on the roster. Look, I think at this point, right now, and probably in general, but especially right now, I think the fight is a mismatch. I think the fight is a mismatch. I think Zayas is not only not ready, I don't think he has the talent, and he's a good kid, man. He's a real good kid. I would like him to progress and do better in his career, but one thing about boxing that we were talking about earlier, about the business of boxing, how people get done dirty. Look at people like Alberto Puello. Now he can't even get a shot at the title again because uh, Dalton, Dalton's his name.
Yeah.
Dalton's team and himself, opted not to fight him. They're claiming injury or whatnot. The fight was signed, but perhaps they think, well, he was a high risk, low reward because this guy's British. He has a title and he can generate much more money than Puello can. By the same token, you got people like fighters like Bakram, Murzalia, who destroyed Tim Zook. Then everybody put him on ice. Everybody avoided him for 2 years. The best years of probably his career, and he didn't get an opportunity to fight anybody. And he was a champion. No one wanted to fight him. The same thing here. The same thing here. We got a guy who's shouldn't be unified champion. He shouldn't be unified champion. It's Xander Zayas, and he has two belts. So if anybody that occupies the top of the sport, the top echelon, you a unified champion, you got two belts. I want that person to be the best of the best, the best of the best of the best. If you're not the best of the best of the best, I don't want you with those belts. I don't want you with those belts because he ain't fighting anybody for them belts, and he ain't fighting nobody to defend them. Now he is in boots. So that's what I want to see. I want to see who the best is. I don't want to see, okay, listen, yeah, he's Puerto Rican. He's going to make a lot of money. He's going to be a star. Puerto Rican's got a big following. Let's keep milking him, milking him. I know that's what Top Rank wanted to do. I know he probably got advised not to fight Boots because that's what they wanted to do with him, like they did with Canelo for a long time, like they did with Munguia. And the list goes on and on. When they get these Puerto Rican or these Mexican fighters, or even these very popular African American fighters, that are they protect them and protect them to make money off of them. And I don't want to see that. I think Zayas is, you know, believing in himself, making his own choice, and I think he's also believing the hype that he's good. He's as good as they're saying or projecting him to be because of his ethnicity and his background. I don't think he is. I think that when it comes to boxing skill, I think that when it comes to speed, when it comes to power, when it comes to natural talent, um, he's simply outmatched. I think that the one thing that he does have that's better than Boots is his ability to move. He has what looks like very good footwork, but against nobody. And I think he has also good technique, boxing technique, with a caveat. Caveat is he doesn't put his weight behind his punches. He doesn't put his weight. I think he's stronger than his record suggests because we know he's not a knockout artist. He only has 13 knockouts, but we're not seeing that because he doesn't put his weight completely behind the punches. If I were to match him up, IQ, speed, power, I give those three to Jerron Boots Ennis. Natural talent to Jerron Boots Ennis. Footwork, I give it to Zayas. Um, Chin, we don't really know yet. From what I saw, from what I've seen watching them both closely, I have seen Zayas react to certain punches as to where I've seen Boots take a good punch. I've seen Zayas react to certain punches, and Puerto Ricans aren't historically the best at taking punches anyway, unlike Mexican fighters and so forth. So I give that slight edge because we still haven't, it still hasn't been proven. I give a slight edge there to Boots. What other genre? What other categories are there?
No, speed, power, IQ, ring IQ, boxing ability, defense. Mm.
Defense, defense. I don't think neither of them is spectacular. I give the slight edge to Zayas not because he's naturally the better defensive fighter, but because he's more defensively responsible than Boots. Right? Boots, he likes flashy. He likes the knockout. He likes to look for you. He likes to hurt you. And he's willing to risk getting hit to get there. As with Zayas is more traditional stance, keeps both his hands up, doesn't rely on his athleticism. He's there basically doing the boxing basics and he tends to be more defensively responsible. Um, the age is also a factor. The fact that Zayas is young, inexperienced, and not yet in his prime. And then you got Boots, who's basically in his prime, and he's young as well, but older. And so he has that mix of youth and prime, as to where Zayas has the mix of unexperienced youth. So in my eyes, this is a 4-1 fight, maybe 5-1 at this point. You got to put $500 to get $100 on Boots. So I think that's about right. I would say even 6-1, 8-1. That's how it should be favored. I got Jerron Ennis by victory, whether it's early to mid round, not early, anywhere from the third round to the ninth, 10th round. I got him knocking out Xander Zayas. I think Xander can drag the fight out with his footwork, but that's really all he's gonna have to do. He's gonna have to rely on to drag it out. His footwork, maybe a little jab here and there, but I can't see him keeping Boots very honest with anything else. Yes, Shukujan gave Boots trouble. Styles make fights. Shukujan is one of those herky jerky, awkward fighters. Zayas is not. So Zayas is bigger. Uh, we don't know if he's stronger. We don't know if he could take the punch. I don't think so. I got Boots winning the fight whenever he wants.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. So, as far as just to piggyback on a couple of things you said that he's believing his own hype. I mean, why not? Every fighter did it. Tio did it. Every young fighter does it. Why he's believing? He's hype. Maybe he is. He most likely he is, but that's fine. That should be encouraged. Like, yo, bro, you got respect to him for that. Because when other fighters do it, it's cool. He does it. Oh, he believe in his hype. Nah, bro.
Well,
He's a champion.
Canelo did it too against Mayweather. He got his ass
Yeah,
whooped.
and it's fine. And Mayweather was pound for pound the best fighter. So it's fine. He Mayweather chose that fight. He said, "I'll take it." You know what I'm saying? Because Mayweather called the shots when he was money made. You didn't pick Mayweather. Mayweather picked you. That's how it worked when he became the star boxing. But anyway, also the power thing. You're absolutely right with Zonda. I think this fight they're gonna put more emphasis. I think he's gonna really, dig in and because this is the only way he's gonna get the respect of someone like Bruce Ennis is that he's gonna have to really land something on him, make him respect. And yes, he might be the bigger fighter. He's going to come in the bigger fighter. And I think that's planned. They do understand that Boots is a big puncher. The kid is strong. You put on that extra weight so you can observe them punches a little better. Is that going to save him? Probably not. But it can help mentally. Everything's a mental thing. Boxing is a mental game. You get hit, like, okay, yeah, he hit me, but nah, it wasn't that bad. And you get confidence. Another thing that Zonda does well is that when he moves, he boxes well. He punches and moves laterally. His movement is very well. Now you say against who? But then you say but Kukajan. It's the same thing, right? Who Boots? We could say the same thing for both fighters. This is why this matchup is so intriguing. Now, again, I'm just making a case for both fighters. Zonda, yes, the inexperience I think is going to play a part in this fight. I think just Boots is just naturally better. I think Zonda's going to have success early. I think Boots is still going to, I don't think from one fight to another, he's going to be able to cut off the ring well. That's something that is not easy. That shit is a talent. Believe it or not, cutting off the ring. Not every fighter could do that. So I think he's going to have trouble. Hence, Zonda having success early. But I think within those rounds that he's winning, Boots is still going to be landing significant punches. And I'm talking about body shots. And that's what you do to a mover. You need to put a slow leak in them tires. Or you going to move all day? Say no more. I'm going to deposit into those body shots. So I think as we get into them 6, 7, 8th round, you're going to start to see Zonda slow down. And hence, yes, very, very highly that Boots stops some within those rounds right there. But the 8, 9, 10, I could 100% see that. I'm going decision. I think Zonda's going to show a side of him that we haven't seen, but not the skill, not the extra level. He's 23. This is a win-win for him. He's supposed to lose the Boots. In fact, he's a huge underdog, and he chose this guy. So if he loses, what people going to say? People are going to say, well, he was trash. Okay, then so what? But then if he becomes world champion again, and he wins, because that's what happens. People, when you beat a fighter, what does he do after that? That's when you know that's a quality win as well. If you beat a fighter, he get cooked the next 3, 4 fights. It's like, yo, bro, he was done. Depending the damage you did to him, maybe the damage you did to him caused him to, look the way he looked in his next couple of fights. But regardless, man, shout to both these fighters. I'm a fan of Boots. I've been to Philly. Four Corners, been to like 5 of his fights. So the support is there. But I will be rooting for Zonda. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? Because one thing you mentioned, he's a humble kid. I'm not a fan of Belanga because he's the opposite. He's the polar opposite of Zonda. He believes the hype. He thinks he's better than what he is. And we already seen what happened to him. And he still thinks he's the man. Okay. Believe it, Belanga, but we know the truth. So, look, when it's all said and done, Boots gets it done. It could be, I think it's either going to be a close fight or it's going to be a walkthrough in the favor of Boots. Either way, I'm going Boots either way. He's going to win by decision or he's going to stop him. And, if Zonda pulls it off, he pulls it off because it can happen. We seen this story before. We're going into a fight a big fight of this magnitude, these fighters did not have a chance, and not they either lost a very close decision or they got the upset. So we'll see. We'll see tomorrow. That's the beauty of it. But I'm just glad it's happening. And the last thing you mentioned, guys with the belts, I do agree. You do want to see the best of the best with the belts, because once you got them belts, those lead to the big fights, right? So you got Fedora. It looks like Virgil Ortiz is about to, come out the cage. So those are fights we would love to see. Boots and Virgil in particular, these two guys have been named many. In fact, Boots avoided a fight with Virgil. It's facts. I'm not saying that Boots is scared of him. These are just the facts. So let's hope now, once Boots retain these two belts, that him and Virgil could fight sometime, next year. Because, Virgil's definitely going to need a warm-up fight, at least one, before stepping in the ring with someone like Jaron Ennis.
I think there's also something that I forgot to mention, is the psychological factor, the psychological edge. Who is the pressure on in this fight? And I would have to say that the pressure's on Boots. Pressure's on Boots because he's expected to win. Even he's expecting himself to win and to look great. And you can be confident. You can't be overconfident. Overconfidence is negligence. You can't be overconfident no matter who you fight. So he better be well prepared. He better have a good head on his shoulders, because depending on the crowd, I don't know if it's gonna be more pro Zayas, more pro Boots. We don't know. It probably could be a big blend, but you already know when you got a Puerto Rican fighting in New York, they gonna come out for him, man. They gonna come out. So once as soon as he come out with the flag and he throw a jab, motherfucker, they yelling and shit. So you gonna have to not only withstand that, but also, bro, you're supposed to blow this kid out. This kid is inexperienced, bro. You a 5-1 favorite. You're supposed to whoop his ass. So, the pressure is on Boots. And you say, oh, why is the pressure on Boots? Zayas is a champion with 2 belts. Yes. But everyone is almost in agreement that even though he is a champion with 2 belts, he shouldn't have took this fight, or he's taking this fight a little early, and he's really risking. As to where fuck is Boots risking? He ain't risking shit. Boots is basically jumping into an opportunity that he saw. So if Boots would have risked, if he would have went up there and fight Virgil when Virgil was like, "Come get the smoke," Boots would have risked if he would have gotten there with Fedora right now. Now that's a risk, but this is an opportunity. So the pressure's on Boots, man. I
Yeah.
think, and that can be a factor. That, along with Zayas' size, and the fact that, yes, belief in yourself can take you a long way, and even it could even make you produce a better performance in the ring. Like, nah, nigga, I'm not what you thought I was. You know what I'm saying? I'm better than, yeah, I ain't fight nobody yet, but I'm fighting somebody now, and look at me. So, listen,
Yeah.
Zayas can have some success, um, and make it more competitive than it should be.
Yeah. So let
But
me.
ultimately, I think ultimately, Boots has to know the task at hand. He got to bite down, and it's time to accomplish it. It's time that we know you good. You look good. You look very talented. You are. Now you got to show it again, and you got to show it against somebody else who also has hype behind him. You said you had a question.
Yeah, yeah. So um, if Boots wins this fight, but doesn't look good winning this fight, what does that say for Boots? I'm gonna
That
tell you
says,
me. Go
oh,
ahead.
all right. To me, that says that, bro, our eyes and your mouth deceived us. Our eyes and your mouth deceived us, because you talk about you gonna knock boy out. This shit is easy work. I'm quoting him. It's easy work. People like myself, I think so too. Now, if it ain't, I don't want to hear y'all. I stayed up late last night watching. I don't focus. I don't want to hear nothing. I don't want to hear. Not. Nah. The it's in New York and it was the AC was cold in my room. Shut the fuck up. I don't want to hear nothing. You a 5-1 favorite. 5-1, maybe tomorrow even more so. Nah. Then we gotta do two things. One, bring Boots down, and two, say to Zayas, yo, my apologies. You better than I thought you was.
Yeah. So no, I that's
Me
definitely
personally.
one. Yeah. So I would say to me, I'm not going to really penalize him for winning a close fight, Boots, but that's not gonna what I've perceived him to be. It's like, nah, maybe he's not who I think he is. Yes, he's good. He could beat the Zondas of the world, but I don't know if he's pound for pound potential, right? So this is what I'm saying, and I think, and this is why the pressure is on Boots for that simple fact, because he has to look good, right? No, he has to win, one, and two, he has to look good doing it. If he does one of the two, right, he wins but don't look good, he's gonna get criticized, right? Let's just say he is looking good, he get clipped, or loses a competitive fight, he's gonna get cooked. So the pressure is on. And I've been to Philly, and you seen Boots. One thing, shout to my man, G5 Jeff. He from Philly. He be podcasting on TikTok. That's my guy. I met him when I went to Philly. And he kept it real, bro. He was like, yo, Bozy be saying some dumb shit. Andy Cruz left him, Jack Catterall left him, and he was talking about Boots and his father perhaps clashing in the corner because the Kukajan fight, yo, what are you doing? Get him out of here. He sounded like Tio Senior. You close your eyes, you're like, that's Tio Senior. And that's not, you've mentioned it in the past, Dream. It's important to have a corner. You specifically mentioned in the Ryan and Devin fight where what was the trainer's name? Shit. I forget his name. That he was
The trainer for who?
for Ryan Garcia and the Devin fight. They
It
used to,
was the aerospace trainer,
yeah, yeah,
James.
yeah,
James.
James.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you said, remember, you mentioned specifically, he kept them intact. He like, yo, stay in this bubble, relax,
And it was
boom.
hard to do that because
Yeah,
his dude was all over the place.
correct. So the corner, the corner might be a key factor in this fight, right?
Derek
Because
James.
Derek James, there we go.
Shout out to
And
Cap Quest. If you're not subscribed, subscribe, man. Shout out to you, Cap
that,
Quest.
yeah. So if to me, look, the longer this fight goes and is close, it bodes well for Zonda. I think Boots needs to early on shatter his confidence. Say, listen, even if you go 12, you don't want it. You don't want me punching you. You don't have a chance. You want that break him mentally early. But if Zonda got this confidence and he feel, yo, I could beat this dude. Now we in the 8th round. We in the 9th round. We like, yo, this shit, I got this shit 4-4 going into the 9th. To me, that's gonna favor Zonda.
Or
Honestly.
or 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 fuck around, have Zaya ahead with the movement.
It could be. So I think Boots, but as long as he's him, Dream, he just needs to be him. Yeah, Zonda's gonna have moments. He's just gonna have moments. It is what it is. But you have to make sure that whenever you exchanging, because that's what it's gonna come down to. You make him pay.
Who y'all got having a
Oh,
better jab tomorrow?
that's Zonda. That's Zonda. That's
Well,
Zonda.
look, I don't
To
think I don't think either of them has a tremendous jab. because one, I think Boots, if he does use it, he has a good jab because he has a good everything if he uses it, but he doesn't use it. You know, he's a Roy Jones type fighter at times. So if he wants to use it, it's good. I've seen it. Zonda's is probably more not better, but he uses it. He uses it. So the
Efficient,
jab
more
is, yeah,
efficient.
you got to use it. You know, if you whoever uses it more, then that has to be the better jab. So we got to get that to Zayas.
Yeah. Hey,
Um,
you,
you know, I got we both got. I don't know if you're tuning in now. I got Boots by KO, TKO, and Sean got Boots by decision. I don't
yeah,
think it's gonna be very competitive. Maybe here and there, Sean might thinks it might be a little competitive, but I want to know what you think. Let me know what you think, Kat. Who you got them all, and what form of via by what via?
yeah. And it's and this is what I'm saying, right? That it's the win-win for Zonda. Because all he really needs to do is be competitive. That's it. If he loses and he's competitive, he's gonna get people gonna give him love. And what that means, he's Puerto Rican, he's marketable, he's a very respectful fighter. So he go right back to Puerto Rico and get a fight over there, and they're gonna come out for him. He gets a win, he's good to go. And 160 is calling his name because he is a big fighter. The dude is 23, and look how big he is. So by next year, he's at 160. He might fight one more after this, win or lose. Then I see him at 160.
Well, I think that if he loses in dramatic fashion, I think he'll probably do that next. I think he'll move up next, and they might even say, oh, maybe 154 was a big cut for me. I understand. It would be believable because he's a big. I don't know how he makes 154. To be honest, he's a big dude. Um, Look, I don't think the fight is that interesting. I think it's more so the market, the way it's marketed. Puerto Rican versus African American. Here, summertime. The Puerto Rican parade was last week or 2 weeks ago. So I think it's more, and the fact that he chose to risk that, to risk himself now, and he should, because listen, at the end of the day, as a champion and a unified champion, you have a responsibility to fight the best. You just do. And we know that's not the norm in boxing, unfortunately, but it should be the norm. You know,
Yeah,
um, it's like a dad, right? You got a deadbeat dad, and you got a good dad. We congratulate you if you're a good dad. That's good, but that's what you're supposed to do, bro. You're supposed to do that. You know what I'm saying? You chose to have children. You know what I mean? You made the decision. So same thing, you chose to fight, you chose to become champion, and now you champion, then you gotta the responsibility. You gotta show up for it. So yeah, man. Let's see what happens, man. The card is decent. You got Ben Whitaker on there. You also got who else you got on there?
Emiliano,
Emiliano
Emiliano,
Vargas,
Bryce
who I've been
Mills.
who I've been big on in the past. I think he's showing a little bit of stall, a little bit of a little bit of a stall in his last couple of fights. But let's see what he does tomorrow. Um, yeah, man. So let's see what happens, and it's good that we get these kind of fights. And this should be the norm in boxing, man. This should be the norm because if you lose to a guy like Boots, you come back, you young, you only gonna gain experience. You're only gonna gain experience, and you're gonna get better. Or yes, you can become damaged goods if you never were the goods to begin with. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So, Capquest, he answers the question that I asked him. Um, Boots by decision, but I can see a late KO. I want to see if Zonda can keep Boots off of him. Yeah, look, again, it's not very hard to keep Boots away. It might be hard to keep him off. That's the difference, right? Away and off. You can keep him away because he don't like to cut the ring off, man. He's in there trying to create a spectacle, trying to hit you with the flashy punches, put you out. I don't want to do all that shit. I don't want to do all this chasing, man. I don't wait. You can't do that. You can't do that because this dude he ready to go 15 rounds moving like that. So you gotta have, what did you say earlier about Zonda? Zonda's gonna come with more power. You're thinking he's gonna work on being stronger, work on keeping Boots more honest. The same way, Boots gotta say, all right, this kid is a real good mover. I gotta work on cutting off the ring. I know I don't like to. I like to be, lazy with my feet and just shooting crazy shots. And I'm that good. I could do that. All right, but not you can't train like that for this fight because you can make a relatively easy fight into a very difficult one for yourself, and you can become embarrassed. Not only make it a close fight, controversial win, or even a loss, and then you be asked out, and really got a new superstar. If Zonda beats Boots, because make no mistake about it, Boots beats Zonda. All right, people gonna know who he is, yeah, because his name been a little quiet, because he's not a mouthy dude. Neither of them are. But if Boots cook, if Zayas cook Boots, then finally, finally, Puerto Rico gonna feel like they got the next Cotto because it wasn't Verdejo, it wasn't Matias, and this is the next kid that he's trying to hype up like that. So if he do that, you best believe, bro, you gonna hear the old Spanish dudes when you come downstairs to the bodega tomorrow talking about Xander Zayas, and he gonna be a star.
Facts. That's 100% correct, man. And it's good. Listen, man, it's good for boxing. Like you said, this is what we want. This is what we want to see. Like it's hard. Like I said, if this is not Zonda, I'm rooting for Boots. So I'm a fan of Boots. I like him. He's humble. I've said it a million times. I love humble fighters, and they both are. Yeah, they've been joined at each other as they should. It's a big fight. Young dudes. I'm gonna fuck you up. No, I'm gonna fuck you up.
Yeah,
I'm gonna.
mostly Boots. Let's keep it a buck
Yeah,
because Zayas he's been real. He just responded. Zayas
yeah,
is just responding, and the composure, the. I wish more politicians were like this kid, genuine, because he's just a genuine kid. But he's a fighter. But this guy, he's the kind of kid you want as a son. You know, he's just a very educated kid. I think his parents should be proud of him, man. And let's see. Let's see. Let's see if he proves me wrong tomorrow. And if he does, and great for him. I'll be one wrong motherfucker. But I just don't think he could do it.
yeah. No, no. I don't. I know there's a possibility, but I don't see it. I just don't see it. Like I said, I've been I like Zonda, but I never been high on Zonda. This is for years already. So but like I said, crazier things has happened in boxing. Like you said, the mental edge. It might be a slight advantage for Zonda in there. It's gonna be a lot of Puerto Rican flags. They're gonna be loud. And he just might have a moment, bro, that you like, damn, bro, this motherfucker was on his A game. Or he gonna go in there and you like, damn, bro, he got punished. So we'll see,
And
man.
look,
We
man,
about
maybe he put. Let's say he get knocked down in round four. What if he drop Boots before that and have him doing a stanky leg? That we gonna be like, yo, yeah, he got knocked down, but yo, yo, that could have been you too, Boots. And if he was a little older, maybe it would have been you. So you never know, man. At the end of the day, sports shit. The Knicks just won the championship. Listen, in sports, anything can happen. But logically speaking, with our brains, right? With our brains, you gotta favor Boots. I think Boots is the superior talent. And I spoke to your pops about it before when he come get a cut with me, and I think he feels the same about Zayas. Like he don't see it. You don't see that like you less high because I'm not high on him. Your pops not high on him. You say you're not too high on him, but you root for him because you got to root for a good dude. But it's not only about being a good dude. If you being hyped up like that, you also got to be a good fighter. I don't want you sell tickets and all right, cool, but are you good? So at the end of the day, at the top of boxing, I want you to be good. I want you to be the best. Not only because you're a good person, but you got to be good. You know. So let's see, man. That shit, the talking is done, and they gonna lace it up tomorrow.
yeah.
All right, man. We'll wrap it up. You guys already know. Share, like, subscribe if you didn't, and Go check Sean out now. He about to go on Instagram. Who you going on with? Full foreigners or?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, X. Whenever
Yeah,
he's ready.
yeah, he going on there.
Yeah.
So if you want to keep listening to boxing talk, the Maniac gonna give it to you, bro. On his Instagram, the Boxing Maniac, Four Corners Boxing, and you'll find him. All right, peace out.
One.